Diamond P Sports presents the fastest sport on wheels, championship drag racing.
This is National Trail Raceway, located on the historic cross-country highway known as the National Trail, about 25 miles east of Columbus, Ohio. This is the site of the 17th running of the NHRA Springnationals Championships, attracting some 600 race cars from throughout the United States and Canada. Qualifying's been going on for several days as the drivers attempt to make the final fields that will battle for a total purse of over $300,000 in cash and awards. A spectacular engine explosion and fire called a halt to the qualifying attempts of Neil Marr, and the one thing that racers and officials alike find impossible to deal with: rain invaded National Trail. A massive series of thunderstorms and tornadoes moved through the mid-Ohio area, causing the thousands of fans to wait and wonder what was going to happen to the final day of racing. The word from NHRA and National Trail officials not long in coming: no chance for racing this weekend. We'll have to wait until next week. The slogan of this Spring Nationals is probably best expressed by a t-shirt: I survived the swamp, 1981. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave McClelland, and for the second week in a row, the racers, NHRA, and Diamond P Sports back at National Trail Raceway. The heavy rains have caused some questions about track conditions. Working with me is Steve Evans. He files this report.
Dave, when this light turns green here at National Trail Raceway, you're battling more than just your opponent. You're also fighting ever-changing track conditions. After a one-week rain delay, the racers came back to a totally different racetrack than they qualified on. In time trials yesterday, they fought smoking the tires all day long. The decision was made to scrape this racetrack during the night. They actually heated the rubber up and scraped it all off. Now the big question is, how do you come to the starting line? With a lot of horsepower, or do you back off? We asked some top names. Billy Williams, as the #1 qualifier, you've obviously got a whole lot of horsepower, but what about the racetrack? Give me your feelings on the surface today.
Well, it's going to be anybody's race, I think, just because of the racetrack itself. Yesterday it was balling up really bad, and it was people couldn't get down the track, and horsepower isn't going to be what it takes to win the race, I don't believe.
The car that figured out the racetrack would probably win the race, so it's more than critical. The track yesterday was terrible, and the heat and humidity is affecting the racetrack as it affects our engines.
Don, let's talk about the racetrack itself for a second. Yesterday, it obviously was not good. It's been scraped during the night. You have to make a decision.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like pulling in here for the first time for the event and running the race without any practice or anything. It's a whole new surface out there, so all of us guys are up in a turmoil right now, trying to figure out what to do, Steve.
What's your decision? Do you go up soft, conservative, or do you just go after it?
No, absolutely not. No, we'll go after it. We'll just go all the way and run it as hard as we possibly can and hope that that it sticks, that the tires don't smoke, and that the engine's tuned right, and we win the race.
Even though you've crossed the finish line, the battle is not yet over. Should you have a parachute failure, as Kerry Swigert did in Top Fuel qualifying, your chances of stopping the car before you reach the catch net, are very slim. Swigert demonstrated the ideal way to attack this net. Hit it head-on, as straight as possible, and you'll do minimal damage to the car, and the driver will almost always walk away. A couple of $1,000s worth of damage to Swigert's automobile, but he's just fine.
Steve, a very lucky man is Kerry Swigert, but back at the starting line under more threatening clouds, the Top Fuel drivers are getting ready for the first round of racing. We'll be back in a moment.